I'll do it here in just a second. We have been friends for a long time. And I can tell you this, that many times when people walk through hard things in life, they will lose some of their closest friends. And for various different reasons. And with this couple, Elizabeth and I have walked through some thick and thin together, and I am forever appreciative. It is John and Aggie Froese. Thank you guys for joining me here today. And we're going to talk a little bit about Aggie and Aggie's life, and then we'll talk about John a little bit later. But I'm really excited you guys are willing to be a little vulnerable today. We're going to talk with Aggie and her story a little bit before she met John, and she went through a tough time. And so sometimes we're going to talk about those, or maybe we're not very vulnerable, but Aggie's being vulnerable today, and she's going to go back 30 some years about where she lost her first husband. And maybe there's somebody out there today that needs to hear this, or I believe that there is somebody there that needs to hear this and just needs to be able to hear somebody talk about how to move forward and how to go forward. So Aggie, tell us a little bit about it. Tell us a little bit. Me and you grew up we'll come back, or we go back to the same community in Mexico and Swift Colony, and here we are today. Friends and hung out together through thick and thin, and now we want to go to a totally different part of life, maybe where things were way different than they are today. So right. Tell us a little bit about you and your first husband and kind of what happened there, if you would, please.
Yes, sure, I can do that.
Awesome.
We moved to to the States in '91, in July of '91. We had a daughter that was 5 months old at the time. And about 5 months after that, my husband passed away. At that time, my husband passed away and left me with a 10-month-old daughter. So, those were not easy times.
Absolutely.
It was hard to see even that your little daughter would notice that he wasn't around anymore. She was used to him taking the bottle to her in the morning. First thing in the morning, he went to work very early. And so she always wanted the bottle at that time. And so when he passed away and I was bringing her the bottle, she didn't want to take the bottle.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was one of the hardest at that point in time, to see
I believe that.
your daughter even noticing that, and that it was hard on her. But I am grateful for a God who takes care of you, even though when you don't realize that He is doing it. He took care of us. Us being new in the States, had been only 5 months that we had been there. Didn't know anybody, but got to know some people a little bit, and they took care of me. They took me to places when they went to watch a movie.
That's awesome.
And so on, different things, and just came to visit, to encourage me and so on. Also, Mrs. Rempel, a pastor's wife, she was there for me, encouraged me to make something out of my life by taking piano lessons and so on.
That's awesome.
So I got to go to her every week for lessons, and she would encourage me. Sometimes she would cry with me. Just being there for me, even though hardly knew me, but they were there. Like, it's just amazing to see how God takes care of you in an area where you're so new and people don't even know you. But He finds people to help you along the way. And I'm very grateful for that. I think a lot of the times, we forget what we have because we focus on what we don't have. And that was me. I was thinking so much on the pain that I had of losing my husband that I didn't see all the goodness around me. If I had focused more on the goodness around me, the times would have been much easier. It would still have hurt, but it would have been so much easier if I had focused more on that. I can see that now. But I think it's very important in hard times that we don't look at the pain that we have, but rather look at the good around us. There's always good around us. God is there, and He will help us through anything. He did it for me. And I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that the way you finished it up. He did it for me. And even in spite of, sometimes we don't notice that God is on the move or doing things, but yet He's working behind the scenes, lining things up.
That's right.
And for that, it sounds like Aggie was really grateful for. And now here she is on this side. She says, man, if I would have focused on that more. And I think that there's probably others that would say the same thing. If I would have just focused on what God is doing instead of my circumstances around me, I can get really caught up in my circumstances. Mine don't have to be maybe the way Aggie's was, but I can really focus on my circumstance instead of looking at see what God is doing. So if you're in a situation, maybe you're in a situation like Aggie, or maybe you're just going through some tough times. I would love to encourage you today and say, you know what? There's the great I am, the Alpha, the Omega. The great I am says, hey, I am here for you, and I am sending people for you. I have people lined up that will come along to you, encourage you, if you will just open up to them. Kind of like Aggie said, you know, maybe they just cry with us. Maybe we don't have all the great words. You know, sometimes we look for someone giving us that prophetic word that, you know, this will pull me through. And maybe all we need is someone to put their arms around us and cry with us, or laugh with us, or pray with us. Thank you. God bless. Hey, I just wanted to pop on here and say thank you for listening. And I also want to say thank you to Elizabeth for recording, and thank you to John and Aggie for taking the time to tell their story. Looking forward to sharing many more little clips like this. God bless you.